Hello everyone, I am Sakshi Kesharwal and I am maths expert in AskIITians. So today we'll be starting with the first chapter of class 7, that is what integers, right? So we have studied, so every first chapter of every classes is the revision of the last year class. So integers we have did in the last class and the sum of the part we did in the integers, and the rest of the part will be doing this year. And first there will be half an hour, maybe like first lecture will be totally or will be on the revision of it. So first we'll be doing the revision of the integers which we did in the last class, and then we'll be learning the new part, because in the last class of the integers we have learned about about the addition and subtraction only on the number line and without a number line. This we have already done it, right? So here we'll be going directly on ahead. Like first today lectures will be totally on the basically we'll be doing the revision. Yeah, we'll be doing revision and maybe some part you will be learning on, but here this class is going to be a totally of the revision. So let's start with the class. Okay, hold on. We are on the integers, like knowing a numbers, that's integers. And you will be learning the second chapter. What will be your second chapter? Your second chapter is going to be what, beta? Fraction and decimals, which you did in your class 6. So first two chapters is going to be kind of a revision for your class 6, and little bit of updation will be you'll be learning over here, right? So the what are the topics which we are going to learn today? We are going to learn today, that is the introduction, right? Introduction, addition and subtraction properties, and the properties of the multiplication, right? So this is what we are going to do today, right? So what are the integers? See, we have learned about why the integers were needed. Integers were needed because right now you need to when there is a coldness and a hotness, or the profit or a loss, right? Deficit or credit, right? So for these things we need integers, right? We need negative numbers to represent themselves, and the negative numbers lies on the what, left hand side of this, like 0, which we have already done it, right? So let us suppose if I say that what should be added in 2 to get the answer 0, right? You can say that -2. This we have done in the last class, right? So basically any number which is less than 0, and that are the negative numbers. So when you define a coldness has been generally defined as a negative temperature, that is -2. Means if anyone is saying -2 means what, the temperature is very, very cold. There's no need to say that it's going to be very cold. If somebody says -2 means it's a very less temperature, right? If somebody say like a -100 of your salary, or -100 for whatever, like your transaction or whatever, so it means what, -100 indicates that you have withdrawn the money or you have deficit of the 100 rupees. So it's like that. There's no it's automatically understandable, right? So what are the integers? Integers are basically, that is a whole number from 0 to from 0 to positive or a negative is called integers, right? So the first I'm talking about the negative numbers. Why the negative numbers? Right now when you are in the skies, you say that you are in the above 200, 200 meters above the sea level, but you are in the, when below the water in the submarine, then you say that you are below 200 meter below the sea, so you say -200, right? Or when you go to the base, like when you go to the basements or basement 2, basement 3, so you write B, -1, -2, -3. You have seen those things in your day-to-day life. So where there's integers come. So integers are basically all the positive numbers, all the negative numbers, and the 0. That is all sum up to what, beta? That is sum up to what, beta? Integers, right? That is the set of the integer which includes 0, positive natural numbers, negative natural numbers, and it is denoted by Z. And Z is equals to what, beta? This, right? So can I say that one more thing over here? Can I say that first part we learned that all natural numbers, can I say that this is a natural number, right? This is what, a natural number. This we have done, right? Natural number n, right? Then you are going to add 0 in it. So this will become what, beta? Whole number, right? Or not? This will become a whole number. And when you're going to add negative numbers into it, so like -1, -3, dot dot dot, -3, -2, -1, and when you add the negative number into it, it will become what, beta? Integers, right? So can I say that all natural numbers are whole numbers? Yes, it's true. Whole numbers, it's true, right? But can I say that all natural numbers are integers? Yes, all natural numbers are integers. Yes, it's true. But if I write that all integers integers are whole number. Is it true? All integers are whole number. Is it true or false? It's false. Why? Because if we say that negative one is not a whole number, but negative one is what beta integer. So this is what beta false, right? So these are the some examples, and let's see what are we going to represent that integers on the number line, right? So we have seen that 0 is like you have a 0, and on the right hand side, on the right, this is for you, this is left, right? So on the right hand side, there is like positive numbers. On the left hand side, you have the negative numbers, right? And which has been bit equidistant means what? If you have a 0, so if you're going 1 meter left, then 1 meter right, then 1 meter left, who is standing? 1 is standing. Then 1 meter left, who is standing? -1 is standing. Similarly, if you go from 0 to 2 meter on the right, you will be getting what? 2, right? And then you go 2 meter on the left, you will be getting what? Beta -2. So this is what we have studied. 0 is neither positive or negative. This we have done in the right, like in the last class, right? Now let's coming to that is some fact about like addition and subtraction of integers on the number. Quick revision, right? So you see that if you're going to add a positive integer, when you add a positive integer, you move right? When you subtract a negative integers, or you move what beta left, right or not? This we have done in the last class. So if I say that 6 plus 3, I'll take a highlighter, and that will be easy to explain, because I don't think so you need to write lots of, you will just take this big copy or whatever you feel like. So if you want to add a positive integers, we go right. So if I say 6 plus 3, so 6 plus 3 is equals to 9. So first you will go on the 6, and then 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step, you will be reaching to 9. Now if I say you are adding a positive integer, in the 6 and -6. So first you will be going on -6, and then -6 you will be going to the right. So minus right, you will be going right 1, 2, 3 steps, you reach to what? -3. This is your answer, right? Now, what happens if you're going to add a negative integers? If you're going to add a negative integers, it means what? You have to move left, yes or no? So it says that -6 plus of -3, right? So first you will be going what? -6, and then 3 steps to the left, so you reach to the what? -9. If I say in the same question also, if I say that is 6 plus of -3, right? 6 plus 3, you're adding a negative integer. So this is what your number line, right? So this is will be 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So first you will be going to here, right? First you will go to 6. Then you will be what? Adding a negative integer. So you will what? Move left. So you will be moving 1 step, then 2 step, and then 3 steps. So you will get your answer as what? 3. That's it. We did this in the last class, and we did that if you want to add a 2 positive integers, we just add them, right? So what happened? See, if I say like 7 plus 5, so you just add, that's 12. But when there is a one positive number and when there is a negative number, in fact, you are what? Subtracting. यहाँ पर क्या कर रहे हो? In fact, you are what? Subtracting. I think so. Wait, I'll tell you this later. Okay. So let's see this. Okay. Now, what is happening over here? I think so. There is some reduction. Okay. When you start, like when you are like subtracting a positive integer, like you're subtracting positive, I'll write positive like this, positive integer, right? If you're subtracting positive integer, then what will happen, right? This is a topic. So what happened in the addition, like this is like the thing which you did in class 6. Please remember, when there's an addition of a negative number and positive number, if you're going to add a positive number, you move right. When there's an addition of a negative number, you move left. But this happened in the vice versa, right? When you're going to subtract a positive integer, then what you will be doing, you will be moving what beta? You will be moving left. Right, you will be moving what beta? Left. So when you are going to subtract a positive integer, subtracting like addition of positive integer, you move right. But subtracting a positive integer, you will move what beta? You will what? Move left. You will what beta? Move left. Right. So what happened? It says that -4 minus 3 is equals to how much? Right. So first you will be going to what? -4, right or not? Now it is said subtracting a positive integer, so you will be going what? Left. You will be going what? Left. So start from here, 1, 2, 3. So where did you reach? You reached to -7. That is equals to what? Beta? -7, right? If I give you one question like 4 minus of 5, right? If I give you such question like this, you're subtracting a positive integer. So what you will be doing? You will making a number line, right? So this is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is what? -1, -2. So you will start from where? You'll be starting at 4, start, right? Now you are subtracting a positive integer. When subtracting a positive integer, you will be moving what beta? Left, not right. So moving left 5 steps. So 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. You reach to what beta? -1. That's your answer, right? Now, what happened when you're going to subtract a negative number? Adding a negative number, you will be moving what beta? Left. But when you're subtracting a negative integer, you will be moving what? Right or not? You will be what? Moving right. So what happened here? The question says over here very clearly that -8 and minus of -12, you're subtracting. So what happened? First, you will start to -8. Now you will be moving right, yes or no? So write 1, 2, 3, 12 step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you reach to what? 4 or not? Yes, so end up here. So move 12 steps right as you move to the negative. So please keep it in the mind. When you are adding positive integer, move your right. When you are subtracting a positive integer, move left. When you are adding a negative number, move to your left, right? When you are subtracting a negative number, move to your right. It works on vice versa, right? So if I give you one question over here, like I say that is 6 minus, and I'm just adding like -4 like this, right? So what happened over here? You just see, right? So this is what your 0, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, what happened? You will be going on the 6, right? You will be going on 6. You are starting here, right? This is what you're starting, right? Now you are being like subtracting on negative integers. You'll be moving right, not left. So right, you will be moving 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, and then 4 steps. So your answer is equals to what? 10, right? Now, one more thing I want to tell you, like over here, I think so. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I really need to just add one slide over here. Hold on. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah. So last class, in the class 6, we did what beta? What we did one thing. What is the thing we did? We did like when you are going to add, hold on, when you are going to add like a positive number plus positive number, right? So you will be what? Actually, you will be just adding. You will be what beta? Adding, and that's it, right? When you are adding a negative number plus positive number, right? And positive number plus negative number, you will be what? Actually subtracting. Actually, you will be what beta? Subtracting, right? For these two. Actually, you will be what beta? Subtracting. And then what you will be doing? Then what you will be doing? Actually, you will be subtracting and putting the values and putting the sign of the greater value, putting the sign of greater value, right? Of the greater absolute value. Greater absolute means what? If I say -12 or if I say 3. So -12, like if I say absolute value of -3 and if I say absolute value of 1, right? So it is equals to 3 and it is equals to 1. Absolute value doesn't consider any like sign. It means what? 3 or 4, you write -12. So absolute value of -12 is what? 12. That's 12, right? Absolute value of 12 is still 12, but sign doesn't matter. So absolute value, right? And when we say that when we are subtracting negative value, mm, when we are adding negative value plus negative value, right? When we are adding negative value to negative value, what happens? Actually, we add. Actually, we add. Actually, we add. And mm, actually, we add and put negative sign. Right? Put negative sign. Negative sign. Negative. Spelling wrong. Hold on, beta. Negative sign. Negative sign. That's it. Right? So this we have already done it. So if I give you an example like 5 plus 7, your answer is what, beta? 12. Now if I write minus 5 plus of 7, so it will be what? Actually you'll be subtracting and putting the sign of what, beta? That is the of the greater absolute value. So this will be what, 2, because 5 minus 7 is what, 2, and see 5 is smaller than 7, so positive. So if I write plus 5 and minus of 7, right? So this is equals to what actually you are subtracting, and then putting a greater negative value, it's equals to minus 2. But if I say minus 5 plus of minus 7, this is equals to what actually you are adding it and putting the negative value sign. So this is equals to what? Minus 12. This we have done in the last class, right? Last year, not last class, like last year. So what do you mean by the additive inverse of an integer? What is an additive identity? I think so you have heard about the additive identity. So before doing the additive inverse, let's do the additive identity. What is an additive identity, right? Additive identity is what, beta? Additive identity means what? In a number, what should be added to get the same number, right? So if I write 5, may what should be added to get the number 5, right? So you will be adding what? 0, right? What should be subtracted in 5 to get the answer 5? So that is again the 0, right or not, right? So what happened? This is known as what? Additive identity. Additive identity is what, beta? That is 0. So what number should be added or subtracted in a number to get the same number? That is known as what, beta? 0. If I say like minus 3, what should be added to get minus 3, right? In minus 7 plus, what should be added to get minus 7, right? So it will be what? 0 and 0. So this implies that 0 is called what, beta? Additive identity. It is called what, beta? Additive identity, right? Now, coming to what do you mean by additive inverse of an integer, right? Additive inverse of an integer means what? It simply means that a negative of any number is called the additive inverse of a number. This also we did in the last class. The additive inverse of 5 is what, beta? 5, and the additive inverse of minus 5 is what? 5. So let us suppose you means what? Like you are standing on the 0 and you went to 5 position to the left, right? So you are reaching to the minus 5, right? Now at what position from 0 at equidistance you will be going in the right? So you'll be going to plus 5. So plus 5 and minus 5 will be sum up to what, beta? 0 or not? Because if you just come from this side and if you're going to add it also, you're going to get the answer as 0, right? Doesn't matter, right? If you do this on the number line also, you will get the answer same. So first minus 5 plus 5. First you'll be going on minus 5 and then 5 step in the right direction, you will be reaching on the 0 or not, right? So this is the same thing which we have did on the number line, and the same things follow over here. So it means what? If you take any number, write the just opposite sign of it. So that is what it is, and the number is this, the additive inverse is this, the number is this, and the additive number is this. So what is the additive inverse of 14? It's minus 14. What is the additive inverse of minus 14? It's what? 14, right? So if I say what is an additive inverse, now this shows a number. Now what is an additive inverse of 5? It's minus 5. Additive inverse of 14 is minus 14. Additive inverse of minus 10 is what, beta? 10. My additive inverse of what, beta? Minus 6 is what? Plus 6. So we use the additive inverse for the subtraction of the number. So if I say yes, okay, now this is called as additive inverse. So it means what? If you see that 5 plus of minus 5 will give you answer as what? 0, right? Now if I write 14 plus of minus 14 will give you answer as what? 0 or not, right? uh, yes or no? Yes. So just write it down this thing, beta. Yeah. So we did the subtraction last year on the basis of the negative integers. But this year, I will be teaching you to do the subtraction not on the help of the additive inverse. So if I say, add, if I say subtract, question is like this: subtract 14 minus 14 minus of 2. Right now, this is the question written. So how are you going to do this? Right. So right now you don't know how to do the subtraction. So it's written minus 14. Now, can I write this as plus 2? Right or not? Right. So what happened? What is an additive inverse of plus 2? So additive inverse of plus 2 will be what, beta? Minus 2, right or not? So what you will be doing? Changing of the sign, right? So this will become what, beta? Negative 14, and this will become what? Plus 14 of minus 2, right or not? So you will be just changing the sign of the negative, and this will become 40. Now this is saying, now you are adding the two negative integers. So it means what? You will be actually adding and putting the negative sign. So this will be what? Beta minus 60. Now if I'll give you one more question like this, uh, 3 minus of minus 5, like this is the question, right? So what you'll be doing? Writing the additive inverse of negative 5. The additive inverse of negative 5 is what, beta? Plus 5, and this sign will change into what? Positive, and this is equals to 5. So your answer is what? 8. That's it, right? This is how we have done subtraction in the class 6. So till now, all the parts of the class 6 we have discussed, right? I think so you have understood very well. So let's do this question. Now it says that the right of the pairs of the integers whose sums give a negative integer. You have to take the answer. Like if you take the first part, the sum is, you have to write the sum, that the answer is what? A negative integer. So answer is a negative integer means what? You are going to add such two numbers such that one number is what? Greater than the other number, right or not? So if I say that minus 5 plus of 2, right? So you will be what? Minus 5 plus 2 will be what? Actually you will be subtracting, and then you will be getting the answer as what? As a negative 2, right? Negative 3. Now let's do the B part. The sum is 0. That is an additive inverse. Take any number, like take minus 2 and then plus 2, right? So this is equals to 0. Now do the C part. An integer smaller than both the integers, right? You have to take the integers whose smaller than both the integers. So it is like smaller than both the integers. Take the negative integers, right? So if you're just going to add the two negative integers, let us suppose if I'm adding minus 1 plus of minus 2, right? So what will be the sum? Both are the negative, and the answer will be what, beta? The answer will be what? Minus 3, because actually it'll be adding. So minus 3 is smaller than both the number, right? Coming to the D part. An integer smaller than 1 and one of the integer, like one integer, like whatever you get the answer. The answer is what, beta? Smaller integer. The answer should be what? Smaller than the other and the greater than the other, right? Let's take an example like 5 plus of minus 4. So your answer is what? 1. That's it. See, 5 plus of minus 4. So it will be, actually you'll be subtracting. So 1 is what, beta? 5 is greater than 1 and minus 4 is smaller than 1 or not. So this is true, right? Coming to the E part, what the E part says, an integer greater than both the integers. It means what? You just add the integers, right? So if you're going to add the two positive numbers, you will get the answer always as a positive. So if I'll say 2 plus 3, which is equals to 5. So 5 is what? Greater than 2, and the 5 is what? Greater than 3. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's do this. The next question. What is the next question? It says over here. Okay. It says that find the pair of the integers whose difference, right? Whose difference is a negative integer. So you have to find the numbers whose difference is a negative integer. So again, the difference, you have to take the difference. So if I write 5 is a negative integer. So 5, I'll write minus 5 minus of minus 2, right? So can I write this as minus 5, and this additive inverse will be what, beta? Plus 2. So your answer is what? Negative 3. You have to just think any number, right? It's going randomly in my head. 0, always go for the additive inverse, right? 0, no, not additive inverse. It will be what? 7 minus 7. That's it. 0. one positive, one negative number, right? You just subtract it. Okay, both the positive numbers, if you take both the positive numbers, subtract it, the answer is what? 0. Coming to the C part, an integer smaller than both the integers, like integer is smaller than both the integers. So you are subtracting the number, right? So when you're subtracting the number, so it will be what? Negative 3 of negative 3, right? No, negative of, hold on, I just wrote it wrong. Yeah. So this will be, this is equals to what? Negative 3. So can I write this as negative 3 plus of negative 3? Right or not? Plus 3, right? Because the additive inverse of 3 is what? Negative 3. So your answer is what, beta? Minus 12. So minus 12 is smaller than 9. Is minus 12 is smaller than what, beta? 9, 3 also. So it is like smaller than both the integers, right? So we did over here. So it's smaller than both the integers. You just add both the negative integers, and then the smaller than both the integers, you subtract both the negative integers, right? Coming to the D part, integer greater than 1 and the smaller than the other, right? So can I say that minus 6 of minus 2, right? One negative, one positive, right? So this is equals to what? Minus 6 plus of 2, right or not? So this is equals to what? Minus 4, right? So can I say that 4 minus 4 is greater than minus 6, and minus 4 is smaller than minus 2, right or not? Coming to the E part, an integer greater than both the integers, right? Integer greater than both the integers. Like 2 minus of minus 7, right? So this is equals to what? 2 plus of 7, which is equals to what? Beta 9. That's it. So we say that 2, 9 is what? Greater than 2, right? And minus 7 is less than that of 9. That's it. So you are the answer. Right? So this is how you must proceed, and little bit of thinking process is required. Now here comes the properties. So in the class 6, we have learned in the whole numbers the properties, right? What are the properties of the whole numbers? Closure property, commutative property, associative property, right? And then we learned about the distributive property. So same things we'll be doing in this class also. So again, coming to the properties of the addition and the subtractions of the integers, right? So here comes the first thing. I don't think so I need to write a lot, because we learned in the whole number that what do you mean by the closure property? Take one whole number, take the other whole number, and apply the mathematical operation, that is addition and subtraction, and the answer is again a whole number. So similarly, this follows with the integer. Take one integer, take the other integer, apply addition and subtraction, the answer is itself again an integer. So we say that it is what? Closed, right? It says that, what do you mean by this? It says that for the closure under addition, so I'll go one by one. For the closure property, the sum of the two integer must be an integer under, and it will be closed. For example, if you take any number, 2 plus 3, it's like 2 and 3 you are integer, answer is 5, again an integer. 2 plus minus 3, again an integer. Minus 3 plus 3, what? Sum of two integers and integer. Minus 2 minus 3, and is equals to what? Minus 5, again an integer. So as you see that the addition of two integer will be always an integer, hence integers are closed under addition. So what is this important? If we have two integers, that is p plus q, p and q, then p plus q is always an integer. So we say that integers are always closed under addition, right? I think so. No need to write so many things in it. So good to go. Now closure property under subtraction, right? So it means what? The difference of the two integer is also an integer. It's said to be what? Closed under subtraction, right? For example, if you do 7 minus of 5, it's again 7 minus 2 is 5. Minus 7. 7 minus of minus 2, it will be what? 7 plus 2, which is equals to what? 9. Minus 7 minus 2 will be what? Minus 9. Minus 7 minus of minus 2 is what? 5. You see that you are going to subtract two integers and getting the answer as what, beta? And integer also. So we say that the subtraction of the two integers are what, beta? Closed under what, beta? Subtraction. Like closure, it's like integers are closed under subtraction, like closure property. So we say that any two integers, p and q, are the two integers, then p minus q will always be an integer. Like if I'll explain you this again. So this is equals to what, beta? How are you going to write this? This is 7 plus of 2, right? Which is equals to 9. This is equals to what, beta? Minus 7. And here again the plus 2. So this is going to be what? Minus 2. So minus 9, right? Okay, so this is equals to minus 7 plus of 2, which is equals to what? Minus 5. This is how we have written for the added. But later on, please, we are not going to do this, right? I'm going to teach you the other property and we'll be using that forever and ever, right? No, we are not going to use this at all, right? 6, it's okay. But now from 7 onwards, no, please, no. Okay, now coming to the, what do you mean by the commutative property? The commutative property, again, that is the same for the addition and for the subtraction. I think so it's good. I think so everything is very much clearly written. So if you say that if you change the order of the integer, like if you write a plus b while adding, then the result is the same. Then it is said to be what? Addition is commutative with integers. If I say beta 2 plus 3 is equals to what? 3 plus 2, right? Doesn't matter. But is it true for every integer? So if I write 23 minus 30, the answer is what? 7. Still it's minus 7, right? But if I write minus 30 and plus 23, still the answer is what? Beta 7. Actually, you are subtracting and putting the negative sign, right? So in both the cases, the answers are 7. So it means what? There is no difference in the answer after changing the order. So we say that integers are what? Beta commutative under addition, right? So for any two integers, p and q are this, right? Now, if we change the order of the integers while subtracting the result, it is not same. So the subtraction is not commutative for any integer. So if I say 23 minus of minus 30, so it will be what, beta? 23, this will be equals to what, beta? This is equals to what? 23 plus of 30, right? Which is equals to what? 53. Now if I write minus 30 minus of 23, which is equals to what, beta? Minus 30 plus of minus 23, right? So this is equals to what, beta? Minus 53. So they are not equal. They are not equal, right? They are not equal. So can I say that subtraction is not closed under, subtraction is not commutative under integers, but addition is what, beta? Commutative for the integers, right? Now let's come into this thing. Associative property. The second part is what, beta? Associative property. Okay, what do you mean by associative property? In associative property, as we have learned, you should have minimum of 3 numbers, right? And in the whole numbers, we have learned that addition and subtraction are what basically associated. Like whole numbers are associative under addition and subtraction. Addition and multiplication we did in the last class. So if we change the grouping of the integer while adding in the case or more than two integers, the result is same as, then we call it that what, beta? Addition is associative, right? For example, we have 3 integers p, q, r. Then we say p plus q plus r is equals to q plus p plus r is equals to 1. So we did this number. Like if you take any 3 number, 3, 4, 1. So you're going to just group these two, right? 4 and 3. So this answer is what, beta? 7, and leaving this 1 apart. Now leaving the 2 apart, this is like you paired this up, so you get the answer again. So you can still do like this also. Like it's written 3 plus 4 plus 1. What you can do, you can pair this up and leaving the 4 alone. So this can be written as what? 3 plus 1 plus 4, right? So still the answer remains the same. So 4 plus 4. So it is all commutative. So associative. So we say that integers are associative under what, beta? Addition, right? We say that the result remains the same. So we say that integers are what, beta? Associative under subtraction. Addition, sorry. Similarly, for subtraction also, if I talk about, let's talk about the subtraction. If you have the number, let's take any number like 3, 4, and 1, right? Let's do for subtraction, right? So for subtraction also, if you'll see subtraction, so this is like, this is p, this is q, and this is r, right? So this will be what? P minus q minus of r should be equals to what? P minus q minus of r. So pair this up and pair this up, like this, right? So just put the places. So it will be 3 minus of 4 minus of 1 is equals to what, beta? 3 minus of 4 minus of 1, right? So this is equals to what? 3 minus of 4. So both are like positive, and then there's a subtraction. So you will be writing what, beta? This is equals to what? 3 plus of minus 4, right? And this is minus 1. And this is equals to 3 minus of 4 plus of minus 1, right? Or not? So both, one is negative, one is positive. So you will be writing as what, beta? Negative 1 and negative 1. Yes, and this is equals to what? Minus 4, and this is what? 3. 4 minus 1 is equals to what, beta? Plus of 3. Yes. So yes, Now just see this. It will be what? Negative 1 plus of negative 1. And this is equals to what? 3 plus of negative 3, right? So this is equals to what? Beta 0 and 0. So we say that uh, so we get the same answer. It's negative 1 and this is plus. So yeah, just see one thing. I think so. I did some calculation mistake. So this is minus 1. Oh, I got my mistake. I was just thinking this one. You did some mistake. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Here it should be what beta? I got my mistake. They are not equal. That is what I was thinking. Something I did wrong, right? But anyways, my I got a call, but it's okay. I'll clear your doubt. It's like this. See, it will be what? Negative 1 plus of 1, because negative 1 additive inverse is what beta? This is positive 1, right? So this is going to be negative 1. So this is will be what? Minus 2. And this is equals to what? 3 plus of minus 3, which is equals to what beta? 0. So they are not. So we say that integers are, yes, integers are not associated under subtraction, right? Right, coming to what? Additive identity. So we did the additive identity. I told you, if we add the two integers, if we add 0 to an integer, we get the same integer. So the 0 is called the additive identity of an integer. So we did this right now also. That is 2 plus 0 is what? 2, and minus 7 plus 0 is what? Beta 0, right? So this we have done. Now let's do this question. Fill in the blanks to make the statement true. It says that minus 5 plus of minus 8. So this looks like what beta? Changing of position. So this is what beta? Minus 5, right? So this is what? Commutative property, right? Commutative property, right? Right. Coming to this, minus 53 plus dash is equals to minus 53. So your answer is going to be what beta? 0. So this will be what? Additive identity, right? Additive identity. Right, now 17 plus dash is equals to 0. So when you get the answer 0, when you add the additive inverse to it, so it will be what? Negative 17, right? So this will be what beta? Additive inverse, right? Now it says that 13 plus of minus 12 plus dash is equals to this. So you see there's only changes of position, like there's a bonding, like 13 and 12 bonded with what? Now your 13 is left out and 12 and 7 bonded up. So here will be, who will be left out? Only minus 7 will be left out, right? So this is called beta what? Beta associative property, right? Right. Coming to this is minus 4, 15, minus 3. So here you see that 4 and 15 have paired it up. Who have left out? 3 is left out. So it will be again minus 3. So your answer will be what beta? Associative property. Right? I think so you have understood this thing very well. And the first exercise of your NCRT is like mostly basically it will be more of your like class 6 knowledge, and this was also class 6 only, right? So today we did the most of the part was a class 6. It was just a thorough revision of the class 6 properties. We have not discussed about the properties in the class 6 standard, but yes, for here we'll be discussing the properties as well. So this is the part of class 6, and in the next class we'll be learning in the next class. So that is part of the class 7, right? So let's begin with that, and this is the revision part. So please do the revision and let's proceed with the next class. So thank you class so much, and if you have any doubt, please ask it on the PDF and ask with your respective teacher in your class. So better stay safe, stay well, and bye everyone. Take care. Bye.